Welcome back to the deep dive. Grab your sources, do the heavy lifting, and give you the quick version. Today, we're digging into something that's been popping up a lot, this thing called the Telly Stick.
Hmm. Yeah, the promise is, well, pretty wild. That's why you flagged it. We're talking like over 1,000 free HD channels, streaming platforms too, all through just an HDMI port, and get this, 0 monthly fees. It really sounds, yeah, almost too good to be true.
Exactly. And our mission today really is to quickly unpack what the source material found. Is there any actual evidence for these pretty huge claims? We need to figure out if this Telly Stick is, legit or if it's something you should be wary of.
Okay, let's start with how they build trust. Or try to. They lean hard on claims of being featured in big media outlets, Fox, USA Today, US Weekly, that sort of thing. How did the investigation check that out? Because that sounds impressive. Well, that's where things get interesting right away. The source material notes that despite those big names being thrown around, there was not much proof to show for it. So it looks like an unverified claim, really. Used to make it seem more credible than it might be.
Wow. Okay, so if the outside validation is shaky,
Right.
what about the inside? They also claim it was developed by technology experts. I think that's true. Maybe it is some kind of breakthrough.
You'd think so. But here's the thing. The investigation found absolutely no proof of that either. Like, 0 names mentioned, no credentials listed, no company or institution backing it up. It just says experts.
No names at all.
None. Which raises a really important question for you, the listener. If you genuinely had top minds creating something this disruptive, why hide them? What does that complete lack of transparency suggest about the product itself?
Yeah, that's a good point. It kind of signals maybe a shift towards
A graph.
selling, right?
Yeah.
If the origin story is thin, then you look at the sale page. Classic stuff. 50% off, that limited time promotion ticking down.
Exactly. And that heavy reliance on those, classic marketing tricks, that's the next red flag the source pointed out. Pushing buyers to move fast, maybe before they can really look into it properly.
So the urgency itself is suspicious.
Well, if the product genuinely delivered like 1,000 free channels reliably, would they need such intense pressure tactics? Probably not. The value would speak for itself.
Okay, and beyond the words and the price,
Mm-hmm.
what about what you actually see? The source mentioned something about the product images, too.
Yeah, that's another big one. The investigation checked the product images used in the marketing and found they were basically copied from the internet. Stock photos or images used elsewhere. Not photos of the actual Telly Stick you'd supposedly receive.
Seriously, just generic pictures.
Seems like it. So you've got the unverified media stuff, the anonymous experts, and now copied images. It doesn't exactly build confidence, does it?
No, it really doesn't. But maybe the most telling thing is, what do actual customers say? Did the investigation find any real feedback?
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. This might be the most critical piece. The source material describes searching for independent reviews, places like Trustpilot, maybe Amazon if it was sold there, and essentially finding nothing, just crickets.
Nothing at all. For a product claiming to revolutionize TV.
Pretty much 0 independent feedback was found, and for something sold heavily online, no, it's really strange. Makes it incredibly hard to trust the claims or know if anyone's actually happy with it.
Right. Okay.
So let's just quickly recap the source's findings. You have the media claims unverified, the experts non-existent, the images copied, the marketing super aggressive, and the reviews totally absent. Given all that, the source's conclusion was pretty clear. The Telly Stick seems pretty questionable. The advice was consistent. Be cautious, do your own research, think twice.
That sums it up well. So for you listening, the key takeaway here isn't just speculation. It's that the core promise, this free TV, it's undermined by 5 specific points where the evidence just isn't there, according to the source material we looked at.
Exactly. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on, building on what the source found. If the technology itself was genuinely that disruptive, if it truly delivered 1,000 free HD channels, why would they need to rely so heavily on fake-sounding endorsements and stock photos? Why not just flood the internet with videos of it working, with tons of real, verifiable user testimonials? What does the marketing approach tell you about the actual product's value?
Something to definitely keep in mind next time an offer like that pops up. Okay, that's all for this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.